At 46, Manny Pacquiao stepped into the ring not as a man chasing nostalgia, but as a fighter defying time itself. Opposite him stood Mario Barrios, younger, sharper, and brimming with the confidence that comes from momentum and youth. This wasn't just a matchup. It was a question. Could heart and experience still overcome speed and prime? The lights inside the MGM Grand seemed to burn brighter and heavier. Cameras tightened on Pacquiao's face, calm, focused, his gloves tapping together in a rhythm fans had seen for decades. Barrios, meanwhile, bounced lightly on his feet, locked in, hungry. This was billed as his moment, his chance to prove he belonged. But for Pacquiao, it meant something more, a reminder to the world of why he was never just a legend. He was an anomaly. As the bell neared, the tension became electric. The crowd wasn't just watching, they were holding their breath. Every Pacquiao feint carried years of legacy. Every Barrios jab challenged it. Youth versus legacy. Hunger versus defiance. No one knew how it would end, but everyone knew this wasn't just another bout. It was a collision of eras. Barrios entered with momentum and swagger. At 29, he was in his prime, a relentless pressure fighter known for volume punching and punishing body shots. His recent wins had elevated him into elite conversations. This wasn't just a defense. It was a shot at immortality, the kind only beating a legend can offer. For Pacquiao, the road back was steep. His last fight, a loss to Yordanes Ugas, had raised doubts about whether the great warrior had finally reached the end. Years had passed. His age became a question mark, his legacy a backdrop. But if there's one thing Pacquiao has never accepted, it's limitation. This wasn't about belts. It was about proving, once again, that his spirit hadn't aged a day. Fans and analysts had debated the styles for weeks. Barrios' size, reach, and bodywork were expected to trouble Manny's 46-year-old legs. But Pacquiao's unpredictable rhythm, his sudden angles, and that hand speed, even now, remained dangerous X-factors. Could he still unleash those signature flurries that once left younger champions baffled? Or would Barrios' composure and youth eventually wear him down? As the referee gave final instructions, the arena held its breath. Phones flashed. Fans leaned forward. The air pulsed with anticipation. This fight was more than sport. It was mythology in motion. The bell rang, and Pacquiao sprang forward like it was 2009 again, quick feet, sharp angles. In the opening 30 seconds, he landed a crisp 1-2 that split Barrios' guard, igniting the crowd. A left to the body, then a pivot out of range. Vintage Pacquiao. Barrios didn't panic. He stayed disciplined, working his jab, probing, investing in the body, trying to slow the older man's rhythm. But in that first round, Manny's speed was still too much. Then came Barrios' response, a short, clean right hook during a tight exchange. The crowd erupted again. He wasn't overwhelmed, he was here to fight. It was already clear. This wouldn't be an easy night for either man. It was shaping up to be exactly what fans hoped for, a battle of skill, will, and the unshakable belief that greatness doesn't fade without a fight. Round 2 saw Barrios begin to settle. He found his rhythm behind the jab, building off it with short, thudding body shots that started to land cleanly. Pacquiao responded the only way he knows, with bursts of speed, flurries fired mid-step, and darting in and out like a man half his age. But the size difference was beginning to show. Every time Manny lunged in, Barrios leaned on him, subtly forcing clinches, making the veteran carry his weight. It was smart, patient pressure. Round 3 brought the first true momentum swing. Barrios began timing Manny's rhythm, tagging him with a clean jab and a quick left hook as Pacquiao stepped inside. It was crisp and calculated. But Manny fired back with a vintage 4-punch combo that split Barrios' guard and drove him backward for the first time. The crowd erupted. Pacquiao surged forward again, but Barrios held his ground, rolling with the shots and planting a digging left into Manny's ribs just before the bell. As they returned to corners, commentary buzzed. Pacquiao's speed is still there, but can he keep this up for 12 rounds? One asked. Across the ring, Barrios sat calm, nodding at his corner. He had tasted Pacquiao's storm, and he was still standing to be why round 4. The shift in momentum was undeniable. Barrios grew more comfortable, now using his jab like a weapon, doubling it up and sneaking in a sharp right hand that repeatedly found Pacquiao's face. Manny still attacked in flurries, but Barrios' timing had caught up. He wasn't just defending anymore, he was anticipating. Early in the round, Barrios snapped Manny's head back with a stiff jab that echoed through the arena. The crowd murmured. But Pacquiao returned fire, a blindingly fast combo to the body and a clean left upstairs. Barrios stayed composed, high guard tight, eyes sharp. He was forcing Pacquiao to earn every inch. Round 5 belonged to Barrios. He used his footwork expertly, jabbing and angling out before Manny could respond. Midway through the round, he uncorked a triple left hook that clipped Pacquiao high on the temple. It wasn't fight-ending, but it forced Manny to pause, to reset. Still, the legend responded with a sharp right to the body. But something had changed. For the first time, he hesitated before diving back in. Barrios, seeing it, doubled down on the body attack. Clean shots dug into Pacquiao's midsection, subtle now but potentially devastating later. Yet Manny wasn't done. In the closing seconds, he slipped under a jab and landed a textbook left to the body, followed by a straight left upstairs that pushed Barrios into the ropes. The crowd came alive as Pacquiao chased with another flurry. But Barrios tucked in, weathered the storm, and clinched before damage piled up. Round 6 became a chess match. Barrios stayed behind the jab, controlling distance, forcing Pacquiao to lunge. Manny, meanwhile, picked his moments carefully, landing clean lefts, even sneaking in a rare uppercut in close. His punches had more snap, but Barrios' bodywork was starting to tell. One thudding left hook to the ribs visibly got Pacquiao's attention. Still, the old warrior didn't fade. As the bell rang, both men stood in the center, trading blows, eyes locked, neither willing to take a step back.
Chop like that right, chop like that right. And he went for the second one, and here it is again, getting desperate.
By round 7, the tide was shifting. The early edge Pacquiao had carved out was beginning to erode, and a new question loomed. Could his 45-year-old legs hold up under Barrios' relentless pressure? There was an unmistakable change in energy as the round began. Barrios looked fresher, light on his feet, eyes sharp, snapping his jab with growing confidence. In contrast, Pacquiao's movement began to betray him. The signature bounce, the darting in and out footwork, it had slowed, just a touch, but enough for Barrios to sense opportunity that he didn't hesitate. Barrios stepped in with purpose, unleashing a crisp 1-2. The right hand pierced Pacquiao's guard and landed clean, drawing a surge of noise from the crowd. Manny stumbled back a half step, not rocked, but clearly stung. A flash of vulnerability. A reminder that time, no matter how long defied, always waits in the shadows.
Bottom of the white letters up is good. You got my instructions in the back, gentlemen. Protect yourselves at all times. Listen like man. Fuck them up.
Manny, as always, refused to let the story be written without him. Midway through round 7, just as Barrios looked to take full control, Pacquiao reminded everyone why he's never been an easy chapter to close. Slipping under a jab, he exploded with a signature 5-punch burst, a left to the body, 2 tight hooks up top, and a straight left that snapped Barrios' head back. The crowd erupted. Manny flashed a grin, bouncing on his toes as if to say, "Not done yet." Still, Barrios responded with poise. He dug a sharp left hook to the body before the bell, a punch that made commentators nod in appreciation. His bodywork was becoming a persistent drumbeat, chipping away round by round. Round 8 belonged entirely to Barrios. He cut the ring off with precision, cornering Pacquiao against the ropes and letting his hands go. The flurries weren't always clean, but they forced Manny into a defensive shell, making him absorb and block rather than fire. A triple jab set up a straight right that grazed Manny's chin, followed by yet another thudding left to the ribs. The pressure was mounting. Pacquiao answered with a slick right hook to the temple as he slipped out of the corner, but the counters were coming slower now, in shorter bursts. The crowd felt it, the relentless pace, the weight of youth, starting to wear on the older legend. Manny closed the round with a clean body-head combo, but the momentum was firmly with Barrios heading into the 9th. Round 9 became a war of wills. Sensing the tide turning, Manny came out with urgency. He darted in behind a sharp straight left, then unleashed a quick 3-punch combo that landed clean and re-energized the crowd. But Barrios wouldn't wilt. He met fire with fire, catching Manny with a stiff jab and a looping right that made Pacquiao freeze for a half beat, just long enough to notice. The two battled at mid-range, neither backing down. Pacquiao struck in bursts, while Barrios kept stalking, pressing forward, and forcing exchanges. Late in the round, Barrios slipped in a short right uppercut that landed flush on Manny's chin, drawing gasps from ringside. But in true Pacquiao fashion, he fired right back, A textbook left cross that snapped Barrios' head back just before the bell by the end of 9. The fight was hanging in the balance. Barrios' youth and pressure were undeniable, but Pacquiao's timing, grit, and ability to land clean power shots kept him right in it. Commentators noted that fatigue was clearly setting in for Manny. His flurries still had sting, but they were coming less frequently. The question wasn't just who was winning anymore, it was whether the legend could dig deep one more time.
Established. It almost seems like he wants Pacquiao to get some sense of confidence for him to come in and do something.
The championship rounds began with both fighters carrying the weight of the war behind them. The fatigue was visible in the shoulders, the footwork, and the breathing. Pacquiao, though clearly slower than he'd been earlier, still found moments of brilliance. His feet, though heavier, still carried him in and out with bursts of sharp movement, allowing him to land quick shots and slip away before Barrios could fully engage. But Barrios knew the fight was still within reach, and he fought like it. He surged forward with urgency, jabbing with relentless rhythm, cutting off the ring and denying Pacquiao the space to reset. His pressure was now constant, calculated, and suffocating. Round 10 opened with a statement. Barrios ripped a vicious left hook to the body, and for the first time all night, Pacquiao visibly winced. The crowd stirred. The shot was clean and deep, and it told a story. The relentless investment in the body was paying off, and Barrios wasn't letting up.